Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 6 p.m. here in Cairo. This is Shuruk Bakir, and I'll accompany you through the latest developments on the national and international arenas, starting off with the headlines, followed with the details. President Sisi receives the CEOs of Norwegian company Skittek and Chinese company. Foreign Minister Abdul Ati participates in the preparatory ministerial meeting for the Arab Islamic Summit tomorrow in Doha. And a barrage of airstrikes kills at least 32 Palestinians across Gaza City. Welcome back. President Sisi received the CEOs of Norwegian company Skittek and Chinese company Sangro in Cairo today. The meeting was attended by Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, Deputy Prime Minister for Industrial Development and Minister of Industry and Transportation Kamil El-Wazir, and Minister of Electricity and Renewable Energy Engineer Mahmoud Asmat. Presidency spokesman Ambassador Mohammed Shinawi said that during the talks, Sisi held cooperation between Egypt and the two companies for boosting the flow of foreign direct investments. He said such investments contribute to providing job opportunities in the renewable energy sector within the framework of Egypt's efforts to cement its position as a regional center for energy in the East Mediterranean. Shinawi said that the Skittek company's CEO reviewed during the meeting efforts by the company to provide clean energy and green fuel in various countries. The presidential spokesman also said Skittek's CEO reviewed cooperation between the company and Egypt. He said cooperation between the two sides is reflected in the increase in the volume and number of solar energy and wind energy projects to produce electricity, as well as green hydrogen projects in Egypt. For his part, Shinawi said that during the meeting, the CEO of the Chinese company Sangro reviewed efforts to produce the components of electricity stations and energy storage batteries in Egypt. He said that the meeting reviewed cooperation to fund an energy storage battery factory with a 10 gigawatt annual capacity in Egypt. Shinawi said that the meeting discussed prospects for battery and cooperation between Egypt, the Norwegian company Skittek, and Chinese Sangro company in accordance with the state's vision to replace Egypt atop the list of countries producing and exporting green energy. On the sidelines of the preparatory ministerial meeting for the Arab Islamic that will be held in Doha, Minister of Foreign Immigration and Egyptian Expatriates Affairs Badr Abdul Ati convened with his Pakistani counterpart Muhammad Ishaq Dar. The meeting tackled means of enhancing bilateral relations in various fields, with both ministers condemning the Israeli aggression on Qatar, expressing their full solidarity with the Qatari government and people. During the meeting, Foreign Minister Abdul Ati briefed his Pakistani counterpart on Egypt's efforts to a secure ceasefire and ensure the entry of the humanitarian aid to Gaza Strip. The ministers also exchanged views on ways to deal with dangerous political and security challenges facing the region to achieve peace, stability in the Middle East. Foreign Minister Badr Abdul Ati participates on Sunday in the preparatory ministerial meeting for the Arab Islamic Summit that will be held on Monday in Doha. Qatar hosts a summit of Arab and Muslim leaders to denounce Israel's occupation attack on Hamas and officials in Doha, and to show solidarity with the Gulf state. Foreign Ministry spokesman Magid Al-Ansari said that Monday's meeting would consider a draft resolution on the Israeli occupation attack on the state of Qatar to be drafted Sunday at a ministerial meeting. Al-Ansari said that the summit reflected broad Arab and Islamic solidarity with the state of Qatar in the face of Israel's cowardly aggression and the categorical rejection of the Israel state terrorism. Israel targeted Hamas leaders last Tuesday in strikes on the Qatari capital, killing 5 Hamas members and a Qatari security officer. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli stressed his keenness to follow up on the latest development in the water desalination file. He said that the government is working to implement more projects and expand the establishment of more desalination plants that depends on the latest technologies applied in this field with the aim of meeting the growing developmental and production needs of water drinking. This came during a meeting held by Prime Minister Madbouli to follow up on the executive plan for expanding the establishment of a seawater desalination plants. The meeting was attended by Minister of Housing, Utilities and Urban Communities, Engineer Sharif Sherbini. Utilities and Urban Communities who reviewed a number of projects that have been completed and are being implemented nationwide. Egypt condemned the terrorist attack that targeted Pakistani soldiers in northwest Pakistan, resulting in a number of deaths and injuries. A foreign ministry statement said Cairo reiterates its firm rejection of all forms of violence, extremism, and terrorism. The statement said Cairo expresses its full solidarity with Pakistan during this critical time, extending its deepest condolences and sincere sympathies to the Pakistani government and people, as well as the families of the victims, wishing the injured a speedy recovery. A barrage of airstrikes killed at least 32 Palestinians across Gaza City as Israeli occupation ramps up its offensive there and urged Palestinians to evacuate. Medical staff made the statement. The 36 Zad al-Izza aid convoy launched from Egypt to Gaza Strip on Sunday within the framework of continuous efforts to alleviate the suffering of the Palestinians in the Strip. Sources in Rafah border crossing said that the convoy included 8 trucks carrying tons of food, medical, and relief aid. Top U.S. diplomat Marco Rubio began a visit to Israel on Sunday after expressing the Trump administration an unwavering support for its ally in the war against Palestine, despite a strike in Qatar that drove broad criticism of Israel. After U.S. President Donald Trump rebuked Israel's over the unprecedented attack against Hamas leaders meeting in Doha on Tuesday. It marked Israel's first such strike against U.S. ally Qatar and has put renowned strain on diplomatic efforts to bring about a truce in Gaza. Before departing for the region on Saturday, Rubio told reporters that while Trump was not happy about the strike, it wasn't going to change the nature of their relationship with the Israelis. Rubio also said that he will be seeking answers from Israeli officials about how they see the way forward in Gaza following Israel's attack on Hamas operatives in Qatar that has upended efforts to bring an end to the conflict. But he added that the United States and Israel were going to have to talk about its impact on truce efforts. Moving to Sudan, multiple paramilitary drones attacked by key army positions and civilian infrastructures in Sudan's south on Sunday, just a week after a port located southeast of Kosti, while drones also struck the Abqir power stations east of the city. Ukrainian drones attacked the Kurishi oil refinery in Russia, northwest, sparking a fire when debris fell from a shot-down drone. Details in the following report.
Ukrainian drones attacked the Kurishi oil refinery in Russia's northwest, one of the country's biggest, sparking a fire when debris fell from a shot-down drone. As big powers talk about how to end the deadliest conflict in Europe since World War II, the drone war is heating up, with Russian drones downed in NATO member Poland and attacks by Ukraine against the oil refineries and pipelines of Russia, the world's second biggest oil exporter. Russian officials said that the Kurishi refinery, one of the top 2 refineries in Russia, was attacked by Ukrainian drones. The governor of the Leningrad region said that 3 drones were destroyed in the Kurishi area and that a fire sparked by falling debris had been put out. He said no one was injured. Ukraine's drone command confirmed it attacked the refinery and said it had carried out a successful strike. Kurishi refines about 17.7 million metric tons per year of Russian crude, or 6.4% of the country's total. Russia said that more than 80 Ukrainian drones were destroyed overnight. The regional governor said an oil company in Russia's Bashkortostan region will maintain production levels despite a drone attack on Saturday.
Welcome back. And now moving to some economy and business, which Egypt's bourse closed higher today amid purchases by Arab and foreign corporations and investment funds against sell-offs by local investment funds and Arab investors. The market capital of listed companies added 21 billion Egyptian pounds, reaching 2.5 trillion pounds at the end of the transactions that exceeded 17 billion pounds. The benchmark index EGX 30 rose 0.5% above the 31,000 point mark. The equal weighted indices EGX 70 and EGX 100 climbed 0.12% and 0.21% respectively. Minister of Planning and Economic Development and International Cooperation, Rania Al-Mashat, held talks with delegations of the Standards and Poor's Credit Rating Agency. The talks reviewed the state's economy and development in the economic indications, as well as policies adopted by the government to implement economic and structural reforms. The meeting also touched on steps to empower the private sector and increase local and foreign investments. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we came to the end of this edition of the Panorama News. That was me, Shuru Bakir. Thank you for watching.